AMA. I was bit by a tick 5+ years ago and now I'm deathly allergic to meat. Context. At least 5 years ago I was bit by a Lone Star tick and now I have alpha-gal syndrome. I just got diagnosed less than 2 months ago. In the past 5 years I've had numerous procedures, ER visits, and scans looking for answers. The allergy includes anything that comes from mammals. This means that I can have some meat like chicken, fish, and turkey. I cannot have any beef, pork, lamb, rabbit, or any other mammalian meats. I also cannot have any dairy or any gelatin. Aside from Jell-O and marshmallows, that also includes contact lenses and capsule medications. I've had to throw out most of my makeup and other care products. I had to stop taking most of my medications. Question 1. How did you finally get diagnosed? A handful of years ago my body started rejecting beef and I get very bad stomach distress when I consume it. Obviously not as severe as your symptoms, but I've always considered AGS as a possibility. Answer. I casually mentioned to my aunt how I was recovering from a steak dinner. She started questioning me on it and I told her that when I had any beef I got a beef headache, which really meant my chest got heavy, my neck felt thick and heavy, was closing, and I got extremely tired and dizzy. My aunt asked me if my mom ever had me tested for AGS because apparently she'd been telling my mom to make sure I was tested since I got sick. My mom thought it was all in my head, so she never brought up my aunt's suggestions. 2 weeks later I saw my doctor and 2 weeks after that I got the call. It took a simple blood draw to diagnose me. My aunt probably saved my life. She knows so much about AGS because one of her co-workers' son has it and he was sick for years as well, and my aunt helped them find answers. She recognized my symptoms as his. Question 2. So you are basically forced into having a vegan diet? Also, why did you have to throw out your makeup? Answer. I'm not fully vegan. I eat fish and chicken and turkey if I know it's safe. I can also consume honey, but those are the only animal products. As for the makeup, most Makuo products contain lanolin, gelatin, collagen, and/or carrageenan. These ingredients are all off-limits and contain the allergen. Question 3. Is it possible that you'll eventually recover from it? Answer. Some people have their symptoms go away and their allergen levels decrease after 1 to 5 years of no tick bites. I'm not very hopeful because I've had it for 5 years at least at this point. I also live in a rural area where ticks are very common, as is AGS. This year I've pulled 12 ticks off of myself and that's when I had been wearing repellent. So I'm not very hopeful, but I plan on getting my levels checked yearly. Question 4. I am curious why your diagnosis took so long. Answer. The first 3 years they thought it was anxiety and disordered eating. Even the past 2 years they said I have ARFID because I told them I have a list of foods that make me feel sick that I didn't eat. They gave me every diagnostic test in the book except an allergy test. Question 5. A guy on a podcast I listened to got alpha-gal from a Lone Star tick and he swears it was cured by acupuncture. Answer. So from what I've read, the acupuncture can cost $100 per session. To the average person this may be worth it, but I can absolutely not afford that. I've also read that it only decreases symptoms and not allergen levels, so it makes me wonder if it's a placebo and if there are still internal reactions, if that makes sense.